A new report looking at the response to last year's devastating Jasper wildfire says crews did their best, but command and control was hampered by the Alberta government. The report comes nearly a year after an aggressive fire burned a third of the town's structures, devastating the town site known to many Canadians as an icon of the Rocky Mountains. It points to incidents of leaders being distracted by overlaps between the town, the province, and federal governments, complicating both the fire response and re-entry efforts. Well, Linda Ward is looking into this a little bit deeper for us this morning. Linda, tell us more about what's being learned, sort of this post of this wildfire.
Yeah, so this review was prepared by two consulting firms that were hired by the municipality, and the aim of all of this was not to assign blame, but to really just look at how well the town responded. But remember those scenes of fire encroaching on the town line? We know so many are still recovering from nearly a year ago when the fire hit that town site, causing about $1.2 billion in insured damage, killing one firefighter. This review found that there is a need to better define the line between federal, provincial, and municipal responsibilities, as well as Parks Canada and provincial agencies like Alberta Wildfire. They need to improve coordination between agencies, the report says. So usually in an emergency like this, like a wildfire, that would be a provincial duty. But Jasper, because it's in a national park, it's a bit different. That's a federal responsibility. So while the report does say that the different agencies have mutual aid relationships and that they do work well together, there were challenges. Here's part of what the report says. While Alberta Wildfire supported firefighting operations and participated in the incident management team, the report says jurisdictional overlap created political challenges that disrupted the focus of incident commanders, and that led to time spent managing inquiries and issues rather than directing the wildfire response and the re-entry. So they came to these findings through some online surveys, through some in-person workshops. Back in February and March, they looked at the town's emergency management plans. They spoke to 138 firefighters, 115 incident management team members. This review aims to really offer advice to other municipalities that are dealing with something like this. It doesn't look at the recovery efforts, but it does suggest creating a re-entry plan in order for things like this to go more smoothly, to speed up decision making going forward. And it made a couple of suggestions as well about how the buildings were constructed and the fire smart initiatives, lobbying other levels of government. It recommends in order to change the way that structures are made and the materials that are used to make these structures in order to stop the spread. So some recommendations in that way as well.
And it was such a devastating fire in that community. And of course, people around the world were paying attention to that because it was such a well-known location. Later, we're going to hear from some federal officials regarding the wildfire situation. What can we expect on that?
Yeah, so we know we've already had a very active wildfire season. It's time for a regular update. So we're going to hear from the Minister of Emergency Management, Eleanor Olszewski, about 2:30 Eastern time this afternoon. Tim Hodgson, the Minister of Energy, Minister of Indigenous Services as well, and the Minister of the Environment, giving an update. Let's take a look, though, quickly at the big picture here. When we look at the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Centre, you see all of those dots on there. Those are all fires that are active within this country right now. A whole lot of them. When we take a little bit closer look, the red ones, those are the out of control wildfires. We're going to get a sense of just what this wildfire season is shaping up to be. We'll have more on that through the morning.
And that map is so telling because you do see just how busy this wildfire season is. So it does explain why we're seeing crews from New Zealand and Mexico, for example, heading into Manitoba to deal some fires there. Linda, thank you so much.
You're welcome.